The first Cold War between the authoritarian Russia and the United States began just after World War II. The reason was simple. US wanted to abolish the dominance of authoritarian regime in the European region. And when USSR got dissolved into today's Russia, the Cold War also got concluded with it. But little do we know, it was the rise of authoritarian regime somewhere in Asia. Mao movement in China was already on the radar of American politicians, and they were also trying to block social, economical, and technical resources which could potentially benefit the Chinese government. But then how does this new space Cold War between the US and China actually started? But first, we are Science Today. We try to bring the latest tech updates and scientific information. If you enjoy it, then just click on the subscribe button. The US was already trying to impose sanctions on China. But as Chinese economy soared due to burst in the manufacturing sector, the US Congress decided to further strengthen the restrictions. Although there was no cooperation at all between the two nations, US Congress passed a law which banned China from using any technology developed by or associated with the US. And that's why Chinese astronauts can travel to space from mainland China, but they simply can't enter into ISS. Even though US pulled out, China had some other nations to get initial technology support from, like Russia and European Union. Chinese economy was growing on the other hand, and their international influence was also increasing in the other. Over the years, a lot has changed between the two nations. The US grew to become even bigger superpower, and China quickly jumped at the ladder and landed on the second spot. And this was just the beginning of new space Cold War. The times have changed since the World War I and World War II. So do the modern warfare techniques. In 21st century, space plays a big role in satellite navigation, surveillance, and secure communication. And both nations quickly understood that whoever controls the space will have an edge in modern warfare. Since 2011, China was officially banned from using International Space Station. So what they really do? They built their own space station. US had their separate GPS navigation satellite systems, which created a dependency for others. To answer that, China launched home-built Paidu satellites. The US sent Perseverance rovers to Mars, then China sent Tianhe 1. Oh wait, it looks like it has already happened before. Russia launched Sputnik, US followed up with the Explorer 1. Russia sent Yuri Gagarin, then US sent Alan Shepard. This is all-out war again. The first Cold War was actually the first war which benefited mankind. The pace with which technology developed during the Cold War was unlike we have seen ever. The space race created a need for modern computers, which resulted into creation of Silicon Valley in the United States. And now we all know majority of us works in which industry. But this time it's different. It's not just the two nations that are involved in the Cold War, but there is another angle of private enterprise. If not NASA, then American companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin, who are also having their own space race. We can only imagine where we can go when so many stakeholders are involved. The technological pace kind of went on a slower tack after the first Cold War, which is gearing up again. But the question comes to our mind is, do we always need another Cold War to develop more advanced technology? If so, then the definition of Cold War is going to change in near future. Comment down what are your thoughts on this modern space Cold War, and who do you think is the top contender for the next one? I hope this video contributed to add value into your knowledge. If so, just give us a like, share this video, and for next Cold War update, just subscribe to the channel.